Hey guys, welcome back to Kitchen King. On today's episode, we have the ultimate crowd pleaser. Something that's quick and easy to make sure that everyone that leaves your dinner table is happy that day. What we have today is something that I like to do for myself when I am inviting guests, when I have a short amount of time to get prepared for the people that are coming to the door. We're gonna make some baked salmon with super simple ingredients that only takes between 25 to 30 minutes to get done. I like to start out with some wild caught salmon and start seasoning up the back of the salmon first, the skin side. We start out with adding some salt and pepper to the back of the skin. What this does is help stop the fish from sticking to the pan. And I like to put a nice coat on it. A little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. Once we have that coated up, I like to flip my fish over and start seasoning the front of it, or the pink side, the fillet side. For a binder today, we're gonna be using a little bit of mayo, and I like to spread it evenly throughout the top of the fish. Don't go too heavy on it. Remember, we're just using this to make sure that our seasoning is sticking to the fish. Once we have our fish coated with our binder, I like to start adding a little bit of paprika, more salt and pepper, and I like to go heavier on the salt for fish, being that salmon is such a fatty fish, it can handle quite a bit of salt. And then some black pepper. Throw a little bit of chopped garlic. And then we put on our lemons, nice thin lemon slices. And then we're gonna stick it into the oven at 375 for about 12 to 15 minutes. After you transfer your fish to your baking pan, we then take it to the oven and stick it in the oven. While the fish is in the oven baking, we're gonna start making our glazing sauce. We need about half a stick of butter. Then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. And then we're gonna chop up some herbs. For our herbs today, what I'm gonna be using is some fresh dill. Remove the stems. And finally chop it up. Put it in with your butter. Then I'm going to be using some thyme. Transfer that to the butter also. Once we got everything in one place, we're gonna start melting the butter down. Low heat. Just add it in and let it melt. While my fish is still baking, you got your butter based on the heat, what I like to do is about halfway through the baking process of the fish, I like to add in a little bit of fresh rosemary to bring up the aroma. Once your butter is completely melted, I like to squeeze out about half a lemon. And give that a nice stir. Beautiful. So we're about 10 minutes into the baking of the salmon, and while the salmon is baking, we still got about 2 to 5 minutes to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start working on the presentation of our fish. We're gonna start with chopping, well not chopping, but slicing a little bit of lemon. We don't need much, just so it looks pretty for the presentation. When we're laying out our lemons, we always gotta remember that food is only as good as it looks. You want your guests to think that you've been working on this for hours when it only took you 30 minutes. So let's take a quick peek and see where we're at. Look at that, almost done. Guys, the aroma of this rosemary roasting in there just puts off such a good smell. I can't even explain to you how good it smells at the moment. We'll cover it up and give it 2 more minutes. Our salmon is done. It's time to pull it out of the oven. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the big old bulky gloves. I like to use these red little silicone oven mitts, I guess. Oh my goodness, the smells are just amazing. Look at that oil bubble. That's just how we want this to look. You don't want to cook it for too long or else it's gonna get rubbery. Put on our hot pad and time to transfer it to our presenting plate. Look at that pan. Just a little bit of prying around the other edges and you can take this fish right off the pan and into your presenting plate. Now that we got our fish into our presenting plate, time to add some finishing touches and ready to serve. We're gonna take a little bit of rosemary. We're gonna put it right by our lemons here. Just a little bit of touch. It look nice and pretty. And now the best part is add our lemon, butter, and garlic base. Get your mixture here, get yourself a nice big spoon and just ladle. Make sure you get all the greenery stuff from the bottom and just ladle it onto your fish. Guys, this butter alone is just putting off aromas like crazy. Beautiful. Look at that. Don't be shy, put a lot on there. There you guys go. This is ready to be served. Look at it, it looks beautiful, it smells good, it tastes good, and you know your guests will leave pleased. Let's give it a taste test. Let's dig in and see what this tastes like. Get a nice chunk out here, nice and flaky. Make sure you gotta get a little bit of the butter. So good. Salty, lemony, garlicky. I gotta go for another one. This, guys, is one of the best fish you'll probably ever have. That is so good, guys, so good. Pairs well with Caesar salad, potatoes, rice, green beans, asparagus, you name it. But in our next video, we will show you how to make the best roasted potatoes that would pair very, very well with this type of dish. Thank you guys for joining us this evening for this dish. If you guys have any thoughts, suggestions, or comment, add them below. Please don't forget to share and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.